Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the assembly video. Remember we have our three basic parts in here, the block, the tube, and the base plate. We brought them into the assembly menu, and we're also going to build what are called constraints through that menu as well. Let's start with some simple ones. First of all, we have the tube and the cylinder. What I'm going to do is select faces, or I'm going to hit the F key, which is the hotkey for faces. Since we made these the same size, but really any cylinder, as long as it has a cylinder like an axis in the middle, you can mate it with another round object. I'm going to click on that face, the interior face. Technically I could do it with the outside too. And I'm going to grab this outside face of that post as well, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to center the axes on those. So that's going to line those two up. You notice that the green base plate moved and the tube did not. That might not be intuitive to most people. If you want to keep one part still, you can click on that one part, right click, and say Fix Components. So now everything else is going to move around that. I can still move the entire drawing around, but when I go to do these constraints, the block is going to move, not the base plate. That's really helpful when we're doing the house or the car and you have your main part that you want to keep still. Okay, now if I grab the cylinder, I can lift it out. So it's still stuck on the cylinder, like the circle is still lined up with the post. I can't go side to side, but I can go up and down. I haven't done anything with that direction. Think of all three directions, top to bottom, front to back, left to right, 3 dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this bottom face, so I'm going to hit F for faces, and I'm going to select this bottom face here. And I don't want them touching. I'm going to do what's called an offset. We're going to go with the advanced stuff first. I'm going to hit offset. Now I have an option. I pick two faces that are touching or two faces that are like aligned together. Well, these are going to be touching if I mate them. And I don't want to have them touching exactly. I want to have an inch apart. So I'm going to enter in 1 here for the offset. I'm going to hit preview, and it's going to build an inch of space between the block and the bottom of the face. If I were just to hit mate, they would be touching. But I put an offset in. I'll show you with the block what I mean. Let's say I want this face touching this face. I want them to be next to each other. That's a straight up mate. Boom. Right click, mate. Alright. You might have thought that it would have gone to the area I clicked, or that it should be right on top of this block, but that's not how it works. It has an infinite work plane that it's mated, and it can just be anywhere. I can slide the block over, and it's kind of floating in space. There's really no defined spot. It's touching in this direction, but we don't really have any left or right, back and forth coordinates established, or x-y axis, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this side face and this side face. I want those to be aligned. I'm going to just line this up to sit in the corner perfectly. Right click and align those two. See how it scoots over? And I'm taking you through these steps because these are steps that you would do with the house project, the car project, and coming up if you do advanced with the toys that you're going to build. So I have two faces again that are they could be lined up together. They're not going to be touching, but they can be lined up. So I'm just going to set an alignment for the two. I've addressed all 3 directions, up and down, left and right, and back and forth. If I were to grab either block, they're not moving. This one's not moving either. It can spin, but it's not moving anywhere. That is a simple assembly addressing all of the features you can use when assembling parts.